this week, now facing charges of child abuse and elderly neglect.
Flagler County Fire Rescue responded to a home, and while there, they noticed conditions that were totally inappropriate.
Flagler County Sheriff Staly said his office was called out for a welfare check. According to an arrest report, there was a 1-year-old in the home as well as a man in his 80s who had recently been released from the hospital. The sheriff's office says both were in the care of 32-year-old Nikolas Cummings and 31-year-old Tashaye Brown. The report describes the home as having a vile and putrid odor and piles of debris, garbage, and scraps throughout, and insects in all directions.
I would say this home was among the worst. I've seen worse, but I've certainly seen a lot better.
The report says roaches and bugs were seen crawling over the sleeping 1-year-old in their pack and play. It says Brown told deputies she flips the baby's portable enclosure upside down each night to shake the insects out. Then she places the baby back inside and sprays a protective tight circle of Raid roach spray around the base.
I realize this is Florida, we have bugs, but not to this extent.
The report describes the man in his 80s inside the home as having been recently released from a 2-week hospital stay and said he described himself as barely mobile enough to make it to his portable toilet 3 to 4 feet away, and says bugs were seen coming from his socks and scabs on his legs.
It was very clear that it was not a safe environment for
January 13th, the elderly man was taken to a hospital and DCF placed the child with a family member. Covering Flagler County, Haley Kruppelholm, WESH 2 News.
Authorities in Flagler County, Florida say a routine welfare check led to a disturbing discovery inside a Palm Coast home. According to the Flagler County Sheriff's Office, deputies and fire rescue personnel responded to the residence after concerns were raised about the people living inside. Police say they found a 1-year-old child and a man in his 80s living in what investigators described as extremely unsanitary conditions. The arrest report describes a vile and putrid odor throughout the home with piles of debris, garbage, and food scraps scattered inside. Investigators say insects were present in all directions. Most disturbing, police report that roaches and bugs were seen crawling over the sleeping 1-year-old inside a pack and play enclosure. Authorities say the elderly man, who had recently been released from the hospital, was also living in the same environment and was unable to properly care for himself. According to deputies, the 2 adults responsible for their care were 32-year-old Nikolas Cummings and 31-year-old Tashaye Brown. Investigators say Brown admitted that she would flip the baby's sleeping enclosure upside down each night to shake insects out, then spray a circle of roach spray around it before placing the child back inside. Sheriff Staly called the conditions unacceptable, stating that while Florida has insects, the situation went far beyond what is normal. Both adults were taken into custody and now face charges of child abuse and elderly neglect. Authorities say the baby and the elderly man were removed from the home for their safety. The investigation remains ongoing.